Howdy, welcome back to the channel. In this week's video, Hamilton's most prominent feature is the giant escarpment running through the city. So in today's video, we are up the mountain, walking down the Red Hill Valley Trail. I'm not really sure how far this trail goes or what we will see, but that's what today's for. The weather, however, is snowing and very overcast, so the lighting is really bad, but we might be able to find some interesting compositions even with this. So as we started along the trail, I found the sign markers and very easily distinguishable, very nicely laid out. This little stream down there looks beautiful. There's a lot of junk and everything everywhere. It's hard to get a picture of kind of a good composition down here. Plus with no light, as I said, everything looks so muted and dull. It'll be very challenging today to find any good photographs. Back on the main trail now. All right, we've been walking down here for a few minutes now, and I already found the very first divergence in the path. So let's go explore what's down here a little bit. There's a little bit more tree cover, so hopefully the breeze will be a little bit less, but let's hope we can find our first photograph in here. Ooh, okay, I think I found an interesting shot. You see how there's no pines or anything on the lower part of it, but you see from about 6 feet or 5.5 feet up, you see all the beautiful pines. I'm gonna see if I can walk around this area. Here we have too many of the trees sticking out of the grounds in each area that are kind of getting in the way of the shot. I wonder if you can actually see the snow falling down or not. Yeah, you should be able to. All right, let's go and explore. So as I was saying, this one actually looks sort of slightly promising. So I'm gonna just have to walk around a little bit, see if we can find any spots. Wow, that's a lot of sap coming out of the tree. Interesting. All right, so I think I found my very first photograph, just sticking out of the ground right here with the evergreens right behind it. Kind of looks interesting. I don't really know. I'm gonna have to kind of like walk around a little bit, see if I can find anything better. But there are also these little like purple reddish little sticks sticking out from the ground around it too. It adds an interesting pop of color. Those things all over it. All right, so thought we'd get the camera out, everything out, see what we could do. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to get this picture to work. I'm going to have to kind of walk around a little bit with the camera out and try to set it up perfectly. I want to try to get a bit more of the evergreen behind it, but that's going to be a challenge because it's very tight areas here. There's not very much area to walk around, and the tree coverage is very thick. There we go, okay. Okay, we switch. Let's get you set up better over here. Okay, F16, half a second. Hopefully there's not too much wind to blow any of the leaves around, but hopefully it keeps it pin sharp. 2-second timer, ISO 100. So the first photo we have already is of the tree over there with a little bit of that purple kind of, I'm not even sure what those are. They look like thorns or some kind of brushes. I'm not 100% sure, but it doesn't really matter. The first shot is in the bag. I don't know how it really looks right now, but with the limited light, everything's very muted and there's not very much contrast with stuff. Everything just looks very dull. All right, we just finished our first photograph. Now I'm putting everything away and then heading on down the path, see what else is down here. All right, back down the trail we go. Nice little well-maintained trail here. A lot of deadfall stuff though, especially in the forest. I don't want any of that to fall on me, but just keep your eyes open and especially look above you. What a beautiful day. You know, when I first started out this morning, I was a little bit worried about how just absolutely terrible the weather was. Like, it just really looks gray and crappy, but yeah, I'm glad I told myself to go outside, go for a hike. And we found one image so far. It's not great. I am feeling optimistic. Probably wrongfully so, but who cares? As I said, photography is not so much a destination, it's the journey of learning. There are power lines in the background too. I don't really feel like taking any pictures around where you can see all the ginormous power lines. It just kind of, I don't know, ruins the image. Let's see if we find anything else down here. Oh, the snow held off. There was a few flakes falling every now and then, but at least it's nothing terrible. I don't have to worry about the lack of water sealing on my camera. And it's only resistant. It kind of feels like there is an image around here somewhere, but I'm just not really seeing it. It's hard to pinpoint anything. Everything just looks dead and macabre like. Oh, there's another path down there as well. Now I wonder where that goes. So we were on the upper path level. I wonder what down there goes to. Huh, we'll have to look it up online, see where that goes. Not a beaver? No, that looks like it just fell over from where? Probably a windstorm. A lot of gnarly looking dead trees. It would be interesting if there was some light coming through here today. Like if you see all the deadfalls and stuff, it would be interesting if we could actually have some light coming through. Ooh. Okay, now it seems like we're going closer to the highway. I don't like this. It just gets insanely loud. But we found another dirt path over here that goes to the left and one that goes all the way over to the highway. We'll check that one out first. Well, the snow is starting to pick up a little bit more, getting a little bit heavier, but it's not really adding very much to the images or contrast of any sort. Look at all the shapes in this, how everything is kind of like bound around. You see that? How there's like all these interesting gnarly shapes and everything, but I wonder what kind of vine this is. Oh well, we're gonna have to start hiking back a little bit soon if we can't find another image. We'll have to come back out again a second day. When the springtime comes and all the life starts returning, it might make this open up a little bit more and it might be a little bit more lush and just more vibrant. I don't know if I want to get another picture of the evergreens here, or, as I was talking about earlier, there is a beautiful tree over there that looks like it's just about ready to fall over. Like it's already starting to lean precariously over. Like that tree looks like any day it's gonna fall down. Bet you that tree stood there for a couple of 100 years too. It's sad. Something that's been there standing for so long as a beacon now is just about ready to fall over. I don't know why, it just reminds me of the Lion King and the circle of life. So, I am trying out something called the super steady shot. I want to see if it does anything while I'm actually moving. Seeing if it actually makes a difference or not, or if the image still looks really shaky. Man, I can kind of almost see a photograph, but those silly power lines just kind of ruin the image. Holy cow, this is beautiful out right now. Ooh, what a good day to be outside. Now, I kind of wish it would snow a lot so it kind of could blanket the ground, kind of give it a little bit of an interesting look to it again, but unfortunately as springtime is here and throughout the day the temperatures have been warming up a little bit. Unlike last week's video where it was plus 20. It was very warm. But this is Canada, so you know, has to remind you how the weather works. It's not how you want it to work. Here we are, back on the main trailhead. Alrighty then guys, I guess I'm gonna have to sign off here. Just a little bit of a hike back to the car.